Today our nation is struggling with the principle and practices of justice, and rightly so, given what has taken place just recently. Justice should be really important to us because it is really important to God. It's on the heart of God. It's part of the attributes of God. And all of us, we're created in the image of God, and therefore we have a sense of justice, and also we are rightly offended by injustice. Think back in ancient day of Abraham, in pleading with God for his nephew. He says, "Will not the just judge of all the earth do right?" In other words, Abraham is saying, God, you have to do what's right in this case. You have to do justice because that's who you are. And God was pleased that Abraham knew this of him and called out to God on this and reflected God's heart. Years later, the ancient prophet Micah would ask the question, God, what do you want? And God says, I've shown you, O man. This is what's required. Do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. And so we are called to do justice, to uphold justice, to prize justice, to work for justice in our world. Now, justice is also a fearful thing because justice is a holy thing. And all of us have cause for concern if the holy justice of God was turned in our direction. And of course, it was. But God is also full of love and mercy. Those are also his attributes. And so in the mercy, the grace, the love of God, God poured out his holy justice, his judgments on his Son, Jesus, on the cross. And because Jesus paid the judgments of our sin, God gives us grace, mercy, forgiveness. And so we also are to love mercy, to prize mercy, and to practice mercy and extend that to one another. And so justice and mercy are held together in tension. And then God goes on to say, and that we are to walk humbly with God. And as we think of our failures and our flaws, our shortcomings, our faults, and how we have been forgiven, it makes us, or it should make us, humble before God and before one another. I think of how Jesus summarized the Ten Commandments, the two tables of the Ten Commandments, the vertical relationship with God, the horizontal relationship with others. And Jesus summarized that in one sentence that has two parts. He says that we are to love the Lord our God with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our mind, with all our strength, and our neighbor as ourselves. And if we do that, we will be practicing justice. We will be prizing mercy. We will be living that out in our life with God and with one another, justice and mercy. And as we do that, may we walk humbly before God with one another. May God bless us all.